Yo, 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 yo. What's good, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? We're back after a little break. We want to model something tonight. You know, um, so we have one more done, and then we call it a day. All right. So, audio's good, visuals good. But I'll make sure I double check visuals actually. So make sure I double check visuals. We're going to be modeling a Stanley Cup. Um, Whoa. Daniel, what did I say? What did I say, bro? Okay, man. Yeah. Well, that was on a lighter note, though, bro. Like, if body no gree, gas crash, man, crash, bro. But right now, I'm not modeling something heavy. Uh, Let me pull in what I'm modeling. Where is it? Where is it? Right here, Stanley Cup. Yeah. My thinking is that approximately 30 minutes I don't finish with this model and I'll call it a night. And yeah, this was placed here strategically because I didn't want to stress myself tonight. I already had one stream earlier. I don't know if you are aware. I already had one earlier, and yeah, I just want to make tonight light, and then I'll pick up from where I left off tomorrow with some other model. Oh, we're done. If you need to go to bed, man, it's fine, bro. I mean, the idea of recording all of these lives is so I have the material downloaded for later and I can, re-upload to the channel, So, in a way, these contents are still going to be there, and yeah, just the idea of repurposing what I had done earlier gonna serve is even amazing because I could get all of this attention and all of that on the live, and then after editing the video and uploading as a separate video for YouTube, it could do its own separate private numbers too. That's exciting to me, and I really can't wait to start uploading all of these models to CGTrader and stuff. And I watched one really exciting video. There's this guy I found. His name is Andrew Vish. I think I'm going to subscribe to his channel. This guy, he does millions. Or he has done up to 1 million on his CGTrader combined with his Sketchfab and his Turbo Squid, and this is just amazing to see. This is amazing to see, man. Honestly, I'm going to go through his channel a lot more, try to see what I can do what I can repurpose into my modeling in Blender for CGTrader, so that yeah, I could see how I could increase that revenue amounts and stuff. Because doing 1 million on CGTrader in 7 years, it doesn't sound like a lot. $1 million doesn't sound like a lot, but bruh, that is a lot of money. You know, that's going to take a very that's going to take a very, very deliberate effort. This my 100 days is gone. I can't make the changes that he talked about in his channel, but I feel like I'm going to do this again, but much more privately, and then I'm going to apply all those things Andrew talked about in his channel. Like, they made sense because shit. Oh, okay, okay. Looks like I'm out to get water. 1 second, please. Yep, we're here. Um, Stanley Cup. Yeah, that's what we're working on. I want to see a reference from the top, just how it looks like. I think this would be a good reference from the top. Is this how it looks? No? Okay, this how it looks. What's this part? Is this like a hole or something? Let me see. Okay, it's a placement of the logo and then the straw. Maybe the straw can be adjusted, it can be moved. I think so. Yeah, I'll use this to model it. So, oh my god. I'm going to mirror this. Again, I said I don't want to take so much time on this, so I need to move fast. Up top. You know what? Let me undo this to right here. So from here, I think I want to rotate, but I will extrude on the Z. Scale it, I would easy all the way to this point. And I will rotate, no, not rotate, I'll add that edge loop and add another one right here. So that's cool. Right here, I would add some edge loop because I want to use this as an extension from the for the handle. Then I'll add one loop here and one more right here. So that's cool. On the top right here, I'll fill in that face and then I would insert, right, and extrude this on the Z, just like so. I think from what I can see here, it looks like this is way smaller actually. S shift Z. So I'm going to scale it out. I'm going to scale it out to the edge. If you see me looking sideways, I'm trying to monitor the chart and make sure that everything is streaming properly and we're also getting audio. Right here on the Z, I'll take this edge and join to this. And I'll take this and join to this, right? So we have a complete selection that will make us be able to create that shape right there. So this I can scale and shift Z, and then this one, and then this two right here, and then maybe this up top too. We can should it be this slim? I don't think so. It's thicker. It's thicker actually. So these two edges I'm going to dissolve. And if I select this one, I think it's going to be too big. Yeah, this one is too big actually. So we're looking at somewhere here and somewhere here, but I can't add that edge loop like that. Like it will deform the mesh when I add in a sub D. Oh, it didn't deform the mesh. Oh. Let's see, could that be a possibility? Let's try. Can select this, join, select this, join. Oh no, join. I think this is the ideal size that I want actually. But in selecting all of this, and then in fact maybe I can even make this selection separately, copy that and undo back to a topology that I'm comfortable with. You know, when I undo back to this, the mesh that I copied initially, I can just paste in place and we have it, voila. Like we don't have to mess up that topology again. So that's cool. I think I can do all of this join. In fact, this face, I'll delete this face, or let's bring it back. I will just join because I wanted to do like a grid fill over there, but I see that might take a lot more time than this. So we have this. I can extrude along normals, or I can use a solidify modifier, whichever one works for you. Both is good. I'll select this SZ0 GZ, bring that down, and that looks cool, except this mesh right here just looks crooked. So I'm going to select this SZ0, make that flat. I'm going to shade smooth, and then I'll apply a bevel. Apply a bevel like so. So this selection here, I would insert, right? Yeah, insert. I'd like to turn that into a circle, but it seems it's been carried by a subdivision. So I'm going to undo that, right? Add in a sub D, but the sub D is going to be restricted by bevels on this side right here. So I'm just going to add very slight bevels. Cool. I'm going to undo that, take out that subdivision. Let's see. Select this to bevel this. I want to apply scale and then do that bevel again. I really don't like the artifact that I'm seeing here actually. Like it's not a good sight. How about I reduce? Okay, I prefer this. So let's see if I select these faces and insert. Extrude inward. Is that going to create for like a good curve? Let's see. I do not think so, but we're going to try like so. Okay. So we're going to undo all of these things. Cancel. Just undo everything. And I want to bring in a cube. GZ up to the surface. I can scale this. GZ. Scale XY rather. I'll apply scale right here. I'll select this edge, and this edge. I'll bevel that. I'll right click, shade auto smooth, and then I'll do a difference on this. So this is what we have, and I'm no matter this. For the cup, we're going to shade auto smooth on that, and that's cool. And next up, I will probably want to get the handle out of the way. So the handle looks something like this to me. We're going to go to the side. Where is the side that has? Okay, no, it's this side. That's this thing. So I'm going to extrude one, rotate slightly, but scale to compensate for that rotation. As a matter of fact, let me delete those faces. SX0. So we can rotate, scale, extrude, rotate, scale. I think G we can bring to this point. Easy. Rotate, extrude, rotate, scale, extrude, rotate, G, position that. So this right here, I'll delete those faces, select this edge, select this, and then just bridge. So we've connected both, but we see that this is, it's not a good shape. It's bigger on some part and smaller on some part. So all of this face right here, I'm going to select and then use this reference point as a scaling point. So I'm going to scale from the active element and do SY0. So that's flat. Can I just flip this to the other side with mirror? I think so. I can select this, select both. Maybe I want to bevel that, but no. I think I can dissolve this edge, rotate this and G to this point. And then bevel, but no, that's not working. That is not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a general bevel to this cup and then bring in a subdivision. Okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to undo, and I probably want to try to get the shape itself rather than getting approximates. Like I'm going to add in extra loops right here just to make sure I trace out that shape correctly. Like so. I'm going to bring this GZ. These points get closer. Bring this out. Bring this down here. Bring this here. All right. So we have this. And next up, we are going to, let's bring in the straw first, because I would really like to texture actually. So the straw just goes in. I think this one is thicker than I did. So I think I want to fatten this up a little more. Yep. Like so. So right around here, I'll bring in a straw. As a cylinder. SZ, shade auto smooth, GY all the way down to this point, S Shift Z. 1 second, guys. Okay. So straws in. What's this one for? I don't know what that was for. But everything else looks good. I think the only thing I also need to do is this part right here. I need to GZ and then select this and then extrude along the mouse. So all of this, can take this and then extrude inward. But the smoothness of this handle is non-negotiable. Like that needs to work. That's a very, very important aspect of this. That's a non-negotiable. So I like the placement of that. I'm going to do the same for this side. And then compensate for that inner radius. And then so something I'm seeing is this part needs to come out. Dissolve, select, bevel. I think this should actually go in more. GX scale 1, 2, bevel. Or going to bevel this first. And then this next. So want to add in a bevel modifier. So we can have some holding loops around here. And then let's add in a sub D. With a sub D, we're already having some issues down here. So I'm going to just bring in some holding loops. That's cool. That looks good. I would go on to texturing right now. So for texturing, I want to create a system where we're able to easily swap out the colors, because one of the selling points I think of the Stanley Cups is, the colors. So main body color, we're going to use I think we're going to use an RGB. No, we're going to use a color ramp. But let's just start with this first. Right? I want to bring in more value into it. Or less value rather. This handle should be round. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, this was I expected earlier. Like, I really wanted the sub D to do the heavy lifting on this model. Okay. G, G. So I want to sculpt out this hand out of this subdivision right here. So any part that is not connecting, we are adjusting. Maybe not manually because this is giving automatic results right here, right now. So this is good. I'm going to select all of that and duplicate and move that into a dump collection. Yep. I can turn that off. And then let me look for the Stanley Cup logo. This is it. Save as PNG. So I can drag that into Blender. Huh? Oh, it's an SVG. Oh my god. Okay. Logo is in the shot. So I'm going to use a random node to alternate the colors of this. But before I do that, let me just set the base kind of color in a way. So this right here, I'm going to select more on that. I'm going to add a new one, call this white. Maybe that's what I'll also use for the straw. And then assign. That's cool. This part will need a holding, and then this is going to be um like a silver color basically. So we're going to do this and call this silver, and this would be a basic low roughness, high metallic kind of shader. Low roughness, high metallic shader. So just assign. So yeah, looking good. Up top, let's see what that looks like up top. This is already taking longer than I wanted, but yeah, it's cool. This top, we're going to give it whites, but it needs to be inserted. Maybe not even inserted. Yeah, need edge on this side. We need to select this edge, and maybe bevel that. So that's cool. This would be take material 1. So I would, where's the material 1? Let me see. Okay, yeah, this one. And then this would be whites. So we're cool on that. This straw would need to insert and extrude like so. So that's looking good. I'm going to add everything, turn everything to a mesh, delete, and we are on for shading, but there's a shading error I'm seeing here. But this is very, very dense. Sub I used was a lot. But let's go on. Right here, we have this. I'm going to bring a color ramp node. And the kind of colors that I want selected for this, I think I saw one really multicolored. I showed different ranges of color. Oh, this one is not bad. I like these earthy tones. I like the earthy tones on this actually. Really good. I'm going to take this because I feel like it's going to catch the eyes a lot more. And I'm going to bring that into Blender. Something I'm seeing is that you see these white parts. It has a subsurface, and not just subsurface. It also has maybe a reduced alpha in a way. A little bit of a reduced alpha. But I'm not seeing a transparency, sure. Because from here, I'm able to see the color on the other side. So I want to kind of be able to simulate that on the side. So colors are going to be selecting on this color ramp. One of them is orange. I'm going to change this constant. I don't know if I'll be able to alternate the way I want to alternate here, but let's see. This is one color. This is another. And this is another. So we're getting 5 of this. I'm going to copy this. What this brown needs to maybe more saturated or okay, no. This is fine actually. Right here is good. Then this green, I can take it right here. And I think more earthy tones we can use is like orangish kind of color. And then another one we can use is, this is not an earthy tone, but I just want to just bring this in. And with this system, I feel like we'll be able to create different colors of this. So I'm going to add this in here. A way to bring in the logo is probably like mixing like so. And then, I think this will have a different UV map on its own actually. So I'm going to add in UV map. I'm not even looking at the stream. Let's check. Okay, we're good. So this will have a different UV map. I'm going to add in a new UV, and then this will be a separate UV right here. So I'm going to connect this like so, and we're able to select. No, we need a texture. I think I can bring in the UV editor right here and bring in this texture right here. So I can select all and project from view and then scale like so. I think logo should be around this side right here. Logo should be around here. Maybe scale down a little bit. So logo is looking good, except that it's giving us a grid pattern which we don't want to repeat. Want to clip, and then I also think this arrangement here is a little bit wonky. So want to let's see. How does the color come in? Okay. Do I need to use the alpha of this one? Doesn't have an alpha. So in order to extract this logo, this is supposed to be straightforward though. So I think I'm actually doing guesswork here. What if I do a multiply or an add? I think we just did mix. What about lighting? So I think one of the blending modes should actually blend this logo into the flux. You know what? Take out this color first. Let's see just the Stanley logo on the flux. That means it has two colors like so. Right? If I invert it, will it work? Let's undo. If I invert this, nope. This is supposed to even go into the factor. This placement of the logo is something I can do is treat this separately, right? Pipe the color directly. Then maybe I would have another shader right here where I'll plug this into the alpha. And then I'll get like a real alpha matte. I can't. Okay, no, I won't plug the alpha into I'll plug the color into the alpha. Then if I mix both, let's see what happens. Oh, okay. I want to figure this out without having to check tutorial. I don't know. I feel like I can. I'll usually do this in my sleep, yo. But let me do something else. Maybe it will come to me. Object info random. So with this, I can select Shift DX and it selects a whole new element. So what if I join all of this, right? And I can Shift DX, selects a whole new color. Where is that brown? Okay, so that's cool. This is done. Well, you see this logo right here. What if the alpha comes in here, right? And then one of this is inverted. I think it's this one. This inverted is supposed to blend in, like maybe lighting. Yeah. I mean, what are we talking about, bro? Like, this is what I've been trying to get. However, this line. So I think the alpha mask coming in here is too blunt. So I can bring in a curve. See, disconnect the pipe. Um, so this marks this alpha mask, though. What if I change this to screen? What if I change this to color dodge? The max is light. It's not even showing as much anymore. What if I change this to add? I'm seeing the line. I think color dodge is a good one actually, because I'm no longer seeing the line, and that's a good result. The only thing is that this logo for green is kind of slightly different. Yeah. So can I bring in a mixed color here? And then this color pipes into here, while this we can kind of control. This would be add. Let's see. Not working. Not working, yo. So I want to be able to change the color of the logo, yeah. How do I go about that? I want to be able to change the color of the logo. How about I bring the mixed color in front of the inverts? Mixed color is right here. This color we already have established. Wait, you. Let me undo and see something. So this inverted color has to come here, and this has to go into the factor. Okay. So trying to figure out how to change the color of this actually. But if I can't, I'm going to call it a day and then just figure it out at a later time. Hmm. What if I dissolve this and maybe attack it in front? Is there a way I can do that? Mix color on the side, right? This goes into the factor. Factor is blended between both. We have our color from the initial right here. And then this is going to be, is it going to be an add or a mix? Let me see. It's going to be a multiply. So if we change this color, are we able to change the color of the logo? It looks like. So this is fantastic. What about we inject a little bit of orangish, bright kind of color? But I'm not sure this is working the way I want it to. This is color burn. Is it an add color or it's a mix? Which one is it? Multiply. Or you take this value to like 4. Yep. Now we're talking. But I think the green is also affected. Like maybe it's 2.5. Yeah. Somewhere around this is good. What's this? Okay, that's shadow. Okay, so I can shift the X, shift the X, shift the X. So yeah, I think I'm pretty much done with this Stanley flags. I think the only thing I want to do is see if this translucency is working. So for the white part, if I want to bring alpha down a little more and roughness high. So yeah, I'll save this and that will be all for today. Stanley Cup done, day 20 done. Day 20. So I would just pack resource and that'll be all for unpack, yeah. Pack resource. So that'll be all for the day. I will just check the stream once more, make sure all's good, and then we'll call it a day. So that'll be all for the day. I will just check the stream once more, make sure all's good, and then we'll call it. All right, all good. So that's about it, guys. So long, and let's see you guys in the next one.